I'm a patient guy. I was prepared to wait even a few months. Well, I waited a few months, and when I called back to see if she was prepared to do the story, I was told, well, she's on maternity leave. She got pregnant and she's on maternity leave, and so I tried to get the Boston Globe to assign a different reporter, ideally a hard news investigative reporter, to cover the story. And all of a sudden they didn't want to do the story anymore. And I think, what with the UUA headquarters being in Boston, what with Unitarian Universalists being upper middle class mostly, a lot of them academics, professors and so on, some of them are lawyers, of course. I have a funny feeling that some Unitarian Universalists in Boston basically persuaded the Boston Globe not to do the story. So I think something similar happened here in Montreal. I think I have reasonable grounds to believe that that's possible. I'm not saying it actually happened, but I have grounds to be suspicious of that possibility. So on that note, we're going to wrap up this monologue. Well, maybe not, because I notice I've already passed the 17-minute mark, so we're already into another segment of video here. So I'll just keep the camera going. I'll pick up my picket signs here, walk back and forth a little bit. I should mention that when I was chalking the chalk slogan, which is there, a City of Montreal city worker truck pulled up and stopped and looked at the chalk slogan. In the past, I've had a Montreal city worker get upset about the fact that I'd written chalk slogans on the sidewalk, and he called the police, and we had a nice little discussion about whether or not chalk slogans are allowed in protests. There's a city bylaw that prohibits dirtying the sidewalk, which in theory could be applied to chalk slogans on. Okay, well, there's a police car with its flashes on. Might not have anything to do with me. In fact, it looks like it doesn't have anything to do with me because its flashes are on a few blocks away, so I guess it's stopping a car or something. Oh, there's a car. Oh, yeah, there's a car. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the police officer's talking to a car, so it doesn't have anything to do with me yet. Anyway, getting back to things, this city worker in the past complained to the police. They came, we talked about it, and the police that I spoke to at the time, were of the opinion, that I could be ticketed for dirtying the sidewalk. But I made it clear that I was quite certain I was well within my rights and that it was actually legal to do so. And even if it wasn't strictly legal, that it should be tolerated within respect for right to protest and freedom of expression and so on. And we basically agreed to disagree. And I told the police, that I would look into things, that I speak to lawyers and legal advisors and so on about, whether or not it's legal to write chalk slogans on the sidewalk in protests. And all of the advice I got from various sources, including legal aid and so on, was no, it's legal. There's been court challenges and so on, and essentially, yeah, people have been fined and so on for chalk slogans, and they've fought that, and in the long run anyway, won. Since then, there's been a couple of other occasions where the police came and essentially acknowledged my right to have chalk slogans on the sidewalk. So I think the police do understand that it is actually legal within the context of a peaceful public protest in any case to write chalk slogans on the sidewalk. So there we are. And quite frankly, if it came down to it, if they wanted to give me a ticket, we could challenge that and challenge it right up to the Supreme Court if necessary, because I do believe that Montreal city bylaws should not be used in a way that prevents people from exercising their constitutionally guaranteed civil right and freedom to engage in peaceful public protest by writing chalk slogans on the sidewalk. So that's that. So we'll see if the police want to have a chat with me. I got a feeling they're just going to drive right by. Bonjour. 11-9. So yeah, that's station 11. So that is the police station that does deal with my protest as a rule. My sensor's overheating here, so I'm going to shut off the camera for a bit. If the police come and have a chat with me, I will turn it on again. But I want the sensor to cool down in the meantime.